Many people regularly ask, what's going on in Grand Rapids, Michigan with all the race and racial issues? What's the story? Is there really something in the water? What are the obstacles in Grand Rapids for Black people? And what have they done to challenge and overcome these blatant systemic challenges? How is progress even being measured with these issues? And what are the historical impacts and the lineages of this discussion that will empower our community today? Here's a project from a team of people that decided to combine forces to tell these stories about how the Black community has been overcoming the odds, creating waves, and making a way in Grand Rapids. What's in the water?
I've had people come to our city from other places and they're like, what is wrong with this place? Like, it's like jumping back into the 1950s because it's blatant, like you see it, but then when you deal with something like the concept of West Michigan nice, then it kind of makes you scratch your head.
I always wondered, when I was in Central, why everybody was my friend when I was doing good on the football field and the track field. White folks wouldn't even speak to us after we left school.
Say you want to go to college, or you guys don't go to college. You guys don't play baseball in high school. You play basketball, football, and run track. You're not, so leave the other sports alone. That's for the other kids.
But at the end of the day, managerial racism is just the ability of power dynamics to be handled for the best interest of whites and whites only, okay? And who are largely in charge of the purse strings and the businesses in the community. And to not allow real effective change to ever hit the ground. And do it in such a polite way that you feel like you're in that relationship, but you are not really a part of that relationship. You are being managed.
We never understood. We were also told that we needed to be given a better education. But what we felt we were getting a great education where we were, and it was devastating. Yeah, because we no longer had a support system. Even as graduates, you don't have the teachers to go back to, that the counselors to go back to. That all was just taken away, just stripped from us.
And I was wondering, why was these people talking about we're gonna give up South High, to send the kids to Union, and our leaders was in that meeting. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's going on here? The lack of pushback, which preempted me to say, hey, I gotta go up and I gotta get involved and do something about some of this stuff that's going on.
We had an institution established by 4 brothers who had actually been in the military. They rented a house in the middle of the neighborhood on Jefferson near Delaware and filled it up with books. I got my first introduction to colonialism and what it was and how it was impacting people around the world. The pivotal place to go in Grand Rapids. Most of our families literally disowned us because we were coming home with this black talk, which was dangerous in America, dangerous anywhere you were, including Grand Rapids. But my education began there, and from there, they couldn't stop me.
If you black and come out of Grand Rapids, you can probably pretty much make it anywhere, because I think the levels of racism is that insidious. Even how blacks were forced to, in many ways, participate in they own mistreatment.
And we're good at having a convening of the minds, talk about the issue, say we're gonna do something about it, but then nothing really happens. Again, that's why this book is so cool. It talks about that in the book. Like, that has been a strategy of people in positions of power in our city for a very long time. It's like, pacify the issue. So you can't say that we're not doing anything about it because we put together a work group or a committee.
And there are still visible inequities by race and ethnicity. These inequalities, they impact our community's economic vitality and the basic quality of life for so many of our neighbors and friends and residents.
It doesn't make you a bad person because of what happened historically. But it does make you a bad person if you know that it happened, you ignore it, and then you're not doing anything to fix it.
This exposition will tell these stories relying on our strong faith traditions and dealing with the uncomfortable truths, exploring and reflecting upon the conflicts of race, class, and privilege in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So as we journey together, capturing stories of division in Grand Rapids, unpacking the insidiousness of racial strife and animosity, and uncovering the institutional forces that make it so, we believe that through God's hand and our work, we shall and will continue to overcome. Let's work, Grand Rapids.